Hey y'all, this is Sean Berry. Thanks for checking out this episode of the ETX ROCKS Show featuring Landry Company.
This is Boston Chris with another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show.
Louise here.
D-Script.
Featuring all genres and styles of entertainment.
And what we do call the ETX ROCKS. Let's hear it from Louise, please.
From the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond.
Out of the box with ETX ROCKS.
It's awesome.
We keep them coming.
$5, that's pocket change.
Well, hey, y'all, this is Haley McDaniel. Are y'all ready for this?
ETX ROCKS Show is the greatest show of all time, okay?
We are ETX ROCKS.
The ETX ROCKS Show is the best show of all time, say? The other shows, you're good, you're real good. As long as we're around, you'll be second best, say?
Cut.
What's happening, guys and gals? Zeb Rogers here. Want to just give you a big old thank you for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
From the great state of Texas, this is the latest episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Nestled in the piney woods of East Texas, the ETX ROCKS Show delivers the stories and songs of talented artists of all genres, all styles, from the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond. We bring a passion for music and a drive to go behind the curtain with our guests. We focus on all artists, from LA to New York, Nashville to Texas, and everywhere in between. ETX is our location, not a limitation. As always, it's viewers and listeners like you out there that are our biggest support for the show. If you want to contribute to the show, please do so by donating to www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And thank you for watching. Thanks for checking out the 198th episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. This week we have a very special guest joining us. They are a three-piece family band that plays a mixture of blues, country, and rock and roll from Stonewall, Louisiana. Brothers Landry and Cardis, along with Dad Steve Wilkinson, have been playing music as long as they can remember. They have opened for big-name acts like Jerrod Niemann, Stoney LaRue, and the Josh Abbott Band, and they thoroughly enjoy making friends along this journey called music. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce everyone to Landry Company. All right, well, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so why don't you guys introduce yourselves to the audience?
So I'm Landry Wilkinson. I'm currently enrolled at Dallas Christian College as a worship art major.
I'm Cardis Wilkinson. I still go to North Soto High School in Stonewall, Louisiana.
And I'm Steve Wilkinson. I'm the dad of these two.
All right, so you guys are going to play a song for us, and what's this first song going to be?
We're going to start with Hackberry. It's a song that was on our first album called Crossing the Road. That album was a 6-song EP. We recorded that album when Cardis here was just, 11?
About 4 years ago.
Yeah, we started it when he was about 11 years old. More or less as a novelty, just to get the boys in the studio and get them used to the studio atmosphere. And I wrote this song right after Hurricane Katrina, and of course Hurricane Rita hit right after that. I was working in South Louisiana, and I was stuck in Hackberry working. So I wrote it while I was down there, and we've never tried to play it acoustically like this, so we're gonna give it a shot.
All right, guys, this is Hackberry by Landry Company. That was Hackberry by Landry Company. We'll have more with them right after this.
Hi, my name is Ashley Martin, and thanks so much for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
We are back with the ETX ROCKS Show with Landry Company. So, Steve, you've been in bands more or less all of your life. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about your musical background?
I grew up playing country. I mean, real country music. You know, back then people didn't wear skinny jeans. So, my dad played in bands. He played in country bands. I just remember sitting there watching his kick drum pedal all night, and I enjoyed playing. And when I guess I was probably 11 or 12, I started playing in a band with the nephews of the guys that my dad was playing with. And we actually played a lot around Shreveport. I was underage, and our lead singer was underage. But our manager, he was a policeman there in Shreveport. He was very respected, and he would book us at the VFWs and the American Legion clubs and festivals and all that stuff. So that's where I got my start playing country. As I got older, I ventured into the Southern rock.
Now you've put together a band with your own family members.
Yeah, with my boys. Got tired of fooling with musicians. If any musicians are watching, they know it's hard to keep a band together. It's hard to keep everybody on the same track. If you can get 3 or 4 guys to show up on time, be sober when they get there, and know the material, you've got a band. But no, really, Landry, my oldest, he's 20 now. He started taking lessons when he was 8 years old. He started taking from a guy named Jerry Beach. Jerry was a blues man. We loved Jerry. Jerry wrote the song "I'll Play the Blues for You," which was recorded by Albert King. And Jerry,
Joe Bonamassa did it live.
yeah, Joe Bonamassa's been doing it live. It's awesome too. And but Jerry was Landry started out with Jerry as his mentor. Later, as he got older, he started taking lessons with Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson still teaches out of Shreveport, and so that's where Landry's bluesy background comes from. And when he was young, I mean, he really learned how to play pretty quick. But when he was young, he would come sit in with my band, and the guys that was playing with us would jokingly call it Landry Company. Well, when Cardis was 6 years old and just literally picked up the bass. If you've ever heard of a God-given talent, that's it. He's never really had any bass lessons, and he picked it up at 6 years old. And man, when I first heard him play, I mean, like really play, we did a little thing at the school was our first, just to get out, just to see how it would go. And man, he got up there, and I said, "Hey, man, I think I have a band." So he rounded out the Landry Company. We just kept the name, Landry Company.
Put the C in the company.
Yeah, he put the C in the company.
Now, Cardis, this isn't your first time on the show, so why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the other projects you've been involved in?
Well, the first time I was on the show, I think I was with Salvation from Sundown. We did a lot of, I guess you could say, rock music and some blues, and that was really a fun time playing with some other kids my own age. And same with second time on the show with Katie Lynn and the Foundation. I'm still currently playing with them. Just, it's refreshing to play with kids your own age and play music that you like your own age. It's been fun.
Right, so we've got a lot of country background with you. We've got some blues. We're here with Landry, and Cardis has been...
Cardis is kind of everything. Believe it or not, he loves funk. He loves funk. When he first started playing bass, I showed him the very basics of what I knew. I'm not a bass player, don't claim to be, but I showed him the basics. But man, he took it from there and started listening to a lot of Tower of Power, Stevie Wonder.
I was listening to Jaco Pastorius.
He's been listening to a lot of Jaco Pastorius here lately, and Victor Wooten and that kind of stuff, and that's where he gets it from. And it really fills us up. Just being a three-piece band, sometimes you kick around the idea of maybe adding another guitar player or a keyboard player, but
I'm not a guitar player.
we don't, because the way they play off of each other fills everything up very well. So we don't have any need to do that. Three-piece is great. We love it when we have a good keyboard player that can come in and play with us or whatever, and every now and then we do.
Well, I love that you guys don't stick yourselves down into one genre. So what are some of the other influences that you each have musically that kind of helped gear you in the direction that you are?
So for me, like he said, I grew up taking lessons from Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Beach. My uncle, my mom's brother, was a big influence on me with blues, getting me involved with B.B. King and Albert King and stuff like that. And the more I started to play and the more I started to venture out with it, the more I started learning about different people. And I learned about the Vosberries, Robin, Keith, and Cole Vosberry. Shreveport guys. Phenomenal guitar players. They've always been some big influences of mine, being able to reach out to different genres. Like, I never have been able to do 80s music. Still am not able to. But it encouraged me to be able to reach out to different areas and being able to starting to work my way up to people like Eric Gales and ZZ Top and some of the other people that I've kind of been able to run across growing up. So they've been able to influence me a lot as far as my tone and being able to find different things to do.
Eric Gales is just a monster.
Oh my gosh, he's in his own
genre out
and
there.
everything.
He's out there. We love Eric.
Yeah. So this question is for the boys. How do you think being in a band has kind of molded you in maybe different ways than some of your peers while growing up?
I know it helps me personally, knowing how to talk to people you don't know. I'm still not very good at it. I'm still a shy person, but it helps to form you professionally around people that you're really not comfortable with, that you don't know.
For me, it's more of like he said, being able to interact with people that you don't really know, but also for me, I'm going to college right now as a music ministry major. So being able to go in with that background of traveling and doing music with a band and being able to sit with different people, it kind of gave me a heads up, in a sense, to be able to know that there's certain things that has to happen to be able to have a team. So.
All right. Well, how do you feel like some of the experiences and influences that you've had along the way have possibly helped you grow?
First on this one. It's definitely helped me grow in the sense that growing up I didn't really say a whole lot to a lot of people. Now I can't shut up. But again, going back to college and moving over to Dallas was probably one of the biggest jolts in my life. So that's kind of where it branches off as far as how this has helped me develop growing up. But being able to maintain friendships and being able to maintain a good work ethic as far as being able to accomplish different things, not just professionally but socially. It's definitely helped me grow in that.
Well, speaking of work ethic, how does it affect your school life or your home life being involved in music?
What school?
You really go first.
Tell that stupid teacher lady we don't need no school.
No, it's definitely a difficult transition because on the weekends you don't really have any time to work.
Especially here lately.
Yeah,
we have been in the road for about the last year. We've been super, super busy. We have very seldom seen the Louisiana line except for when we're leaving it.
And that's something that I've had to communicate with my professors and even some of the higher ups in the college too. I would actually get in trouble my first year because as a freshman you're supposed to have curfew. And getting in at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning was definitely past curfew.
And sometimes not at all.
Yeah, and sometimes not at all, and nobody knew where I was. So it's definitely a hindrance as far as work on the weekends, but it just means you have to be able to have a management good enough to be able to work it in during the week.
Kind of helps me with school though, because I'm in band at school, and everything just kind of transfers over, and marching or concert band is just a completely different world than live music. And you put those two together and it just kind of clicks, and it really opens up another world that's really cool.
And when he was in middle school, his principal was awesome. His principal he's still awesome. He loves music and whatever he could do to help us. You know, I try not to check the boys out or I try not
we try to get checked out.
School. He tries to get checked out, but I try not to keep him home from school. But there are sometimes certain shows that we'll play where you just have to. We've been we've been in Oklahoma and Kansas a lot here lately, and some of those shows, 8-9 hour trips, you kind of have to leave out on Friday morning. So it's a little more work on him to make sure he gets his assignments done, but he does. He does.
Well, the ones that you know about.
Yeah.
He's still passing.
Yeah.
Hey, so finding that balance between music and school, there's a lot of responsibility in that, but there's also a lot of opportunity. Getting these experiences that your peers that are home and playing football and just hanging out on the weekends that they're not getting to experience. I don't like that because I said experience twice. But you getting these experiences that your peers don't get to see when they're home at the weekends or going to a football game or watching a movie, and you're off, traveling. So, what is it like to get to have these opportunities at your age?
Well, it keeps me out of trouble. Versus other kids my age, nobody at my school really knows exactly what I do on the weekends. I don't think they do, at least. And it's kind of cool just going to school and being kind of the quiet kid, knowing you just opened up for, Stoney, LaRue or somebody on the weekend, and nobody knows who that is.
Kind of like an alter ego, huh?
It's like I'm a completely different person out of school and in school. It's fun.
So you guys are from Louisiana, and I've got a question for you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the music scene is like?
Louisiana, especially where we're from northwest Louisiana. We're just south of Shreveport in Stonewall. Man, the Shreveport area has some of the most phenomenal musicians you've ever seen. We mentioned Jerry Beach earlier. Jerry, was a great songwriter. The Vosberries, Cole Vosberry. I was in a band with him. He was on the season 4 or 5 of The Voice and did really well. Got like number 2. So, and their family, we're very close to their family. Just the whole family is talented. I mean, you've got David Deaton from Shreveport. You've got, of course, Lance Lopez with his ties from Shreveport. We have a very, very rich musical heritage there. But it seems, for whatever reason, that those people are really only the ones that are successful are the ones that seem to get out of Shreveport. But then again, success is measured in your own mind. To me, I'm already successful. I'm in a band with my kids, and we're traveling. So if we're here or if we're playing, I don't know, Green Hall, we're having fun. We're together, and we're blessed to get to do what we're doing. But yeah, Louisiana's good. It's good. But we definitely love coming to Texas. Texas is my favorite.
That's awesome. My favorite too. So, what are some of the lessons that you guys have learned along the way with this journey?
We've learned a lot.
Bring extra strings.
Yes.
Bring an extra battery if it's
even bass strings. I've broken 2 bass strings before. It's not fun.
Well, I've been playing music my whole life, and again, growing up just in that Shreveport music scene, you're really limited on your places to play there, especially when you have young guys in the band. My son, of course, the casinos in Shreveport, he's not allowed to play in. We get in Oklahoma, it's a different ball game. They make their own rules, So, but with us out traveling, man, we've met so many great musicians. A lot of the guys you've had on your show, we see Aaron Watson up here. What an awesome dude, and we out traveling, we run across these people, and we've learned that it seems like this Texas music scene is really one big family, and everybody really pumps each other up. We played a couple weeks ago with Josh Abbott Band in Bossier City, and those guys were just great guys. And then when you get to talking to those guys, you find out, that they know this guy over here, and so was roommates with this guy in this band, and this, that, and the other. It's crazy if everybody really knows each other, and they're all so supportive of each other.
Me and Landry talked to the piano player for a long time, just about all the different people that he's played with and that he knows, and then we're like, hey, we know that guy. We
Found out he was, used to be roommates with Stoney's bass player, and we're like, hey, we just played with him, a few weeks before that. So, they're all great people, and he's already in Dallas, so he's already considered a Texas resident, and hopefully here in about a year or so, we're probably fixing to move to Texas. So.
Well, we'd be happy to have you. All right, so I understand you guys have a story about meeting some guys at the Cheatham Street warehouse.
We really do, and hopefully we'll be back down there before long. We were playing at Green Hall one weekend, which is in New Braunfels, the oldest dance hall in Texas, most people know, and I love playing there. It's one of my favorite places. And we decided to stay a couple extra days and float the river, and I told my wife, I said, I want to go to San Marcos. All of our friends that we've been meeting on the road, they play at this place called Cheatham Street Warehouse. I've heard of it, never been there. I want to go check it out. It was a Monday night, and so as we're headed there looking for it, Landry pulls it up on the phone. He's like, hey, Daddy, they're having a jam night tonight. Okay, cool. Let's go jam, man. We got our guitars or their guitars. Let's go do it. So we get there, and it just looked on the outside, looks like a typical old tin building, Inside, it was a nice dance hall. The band was up there setting up, and said, hey, man, go put our name on the list. So he puts our name on the list, and we sat back down at the table, and we were really kind of early. The band was tuning, getting ready to play. Man, when that band started up, of course, the boys are looking down at their phones. When the band starts up, they look at me and said, Daddy, go take our name off that list. It was phenomenal. Some of the best music you'd ever heard in your life. Some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. And come to find out, a couple of the guys had been back in George Strait. They've been in George Strait's band. The bass player, Mr. Tom.
The guitar player.
Yeah, the bass player. We met him. He had already heard of Cardis through some other mutual friends of ours. He had been in the studio with a guy named Steve Helms, Red Dirt artist, and then the other guys that were there played for Kevin Fowler, and Wade Bowen's guys, and it was crazy, and just super nice people, and one of the best nights of music I've ever had in my life, to jam and play and hang out with guys that's been playing with George Strait and all these other big guys, so you never know who you're going to run into.
So as a father, putting a band together with your sons, and you've been in music all of your life. You came from music. Your father was a musician all of his life too. What are some of the lessons that you feel you've been able to pass down from those generations to your boys?
Probably the biggest thing is work ethic. Work ethic, be on time, be sober. The music business, from my eyes, from what I've seen out on the road, it's not all about getting drunk and turning up to 10. It seems like sometimes some of the most respected musicians out there are the guys that are on time, that are stone sober and sing and play their hearts out, from what they have on the inside, just really good work ethic. Be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there early, give the people that pay you their money's worth, and more.
So, Landry, Cardis, what are some of the lessons that you guys have learned from your dad?
Attitude is everything. When I was younger, I had a really big problem with my attitude towards people. It's gotten better, and now I'm starting to see that it really does mean a lot in how you approach people.
Definitely attitude and work ethic. I've always been told that attitude is 90% of it, and it's 99% of it. Okay, I'm sorry, 10% off. Anyway, attitude is the majority of it, and it really has been. If you have a good attitude can get you just about anywhere, as long as you can back yourself up with it. But I've always tried to look for the silver lining in everything. Doesn't matter what it is, and doing so has always helped me be able to not only with this, but also life choices. and work ethic. Always make sure if you're traveling somewhere, make sure you have time to change a tire.
That's a big thing.
That was an old Papa saying.
Yeah.
Papa always said, wherever you're going, make sure, leave yourself enough time to change a tire.
Last weekend I left time to change 6 tires.
All right, so the music has been a part of all of your lives from the very beginning, and undoubtedly it has shaped you and turned you into who you are. Have you ever had any experiences where you've seen your music affect someone else's life?
We really have, and that really goes back to when Cardis was younger. You know, we always say in our shows that, you know, the kids have a God-given talent, you know, and we always tell people they have a God-given talent, which I firmly believe. When we really first started playing out as a family, I was playing with Just a Merit Band, which I still currently play with Just a Merit Band some. But we were doing a party over in East Texas one night, and Justin had asked if the boys wanted to come open the show. And just not knowing, you know, how the party was going to be or whatever, you know, we brought Mom along, so she was in a separate vehicle. And I said, well, if it's not something the kids need to be at, when they get done, you can rush them off, you know. So they were playing, and it was a party. It was a biker party, you know. So when they got done playing, the crowd loved them. You know, no problems at the party or anything. But they left, and this lady, this older lady, come up to me, and she was, you know, she was your typical biker chick. She was all leathered out. She kind of looked like she had tears in her eyes. She said, "Son, who taught that little boy how to play like that?" Talking about Cardis. I said, "Nobody, ma'am." I said, "It's a God-given talent." And she just kind of snubbed at me. And she walked off, and then she come right back over there at me. And she said, "You said that little boy's got a God-given talent." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Well, let me tell you something." She said, "I was in Austin a couple weeks ago with my grandbaby." And she said, there was a little boy about his age, which at the time Cardis was, what, maybe 7 or 8?
Maybe.
And she said there was a little boy on the corner in Austin about his age playing. And she said, "My grandson said, Mimi, that little boy's got a God-given talent." And she said, "I told him God's got nothing to do with it." And she said, "I don't believe in God." And, you know, I just kind of nodded my head. And I said, "Well, I wish the boys could have stayed here. I'd love to have you talk to them, you know, just to hear their story behind it." And so she told me, she said, after she said that, she said, "Well," and she kind of turned back. She said, "Well, at least I didn't." She said, "I'm one step closer to believing in God now." So, you know, in a way, I know we're out playing our Southern rock and our country and all that, but also it's you know, in a way, it's our witness too. You know, God's given us our talent. It's our ministry. You know, God's given us the talent, because I definitely couldn't do it on my own. I can barely do it now. You know, but as a family, as a band, God's given us everything that we have to work with. And we do play in church. Matter of fact, we just left. Cardis played in church this morning in Shreveport. Landry's going to a Christian college. But yeah, we do play the bars. We play the casinos, the bars. But maybe sometimes the people that need to hear it the most, that's where they're at.
I remember Aaron Watson telling me whenever I went on his bus one time, I got to meet him. He said, "Be the light in a dark place." And it was.
Yeah, the night we met Aaron, he, you know, we were just coming off the road back in Bo Phillips. We've been all over Oklahoma, and Cardis told him that he was Bo Phillips' bass player, because we backed Bo. And he said, "I know Bo," you know, and he says,
"Everybody knows."
He said, "Where were you playing at?" And he said, "Well, we played wherever we were at. I think we were coming from Pensacola, somewhere in Oklahoma." And he said, "I've been there since I've played there." And he told Cardis, he said, and he named off several places we played with Bo, and he said, "I've played all those places." And he said, "Son," he said, "there's nothing wrong with playing those places." He said, "But you can be the light in a dark place." And that, you know, that keeps you driving. We don't push religion down anybody's throats. We're definitely far from perfect. But, you know, if you ask, I'm telling you, God's behind what we do. Because there's no way we could do it on our own.
So we're here on the ETX ROCKS Show with Landry Company. Once again, I'm Louise Leone, producer of the show usually, but today I'm hosting. And we are about to play one of our games with our guests. Now, if you're not familiar with the show, we like to play a little game with our guests, just kind of warm them up a little bit, and maybe just kind of see what they're made of. So we're going to play What the Heck with Landry Company. Now, the way this game works is I'm going to ask you guys 10 questions, and they're, they might make a lot of sense. They might be deep. They might be not deep at all. And you just give me the answer that comes to your mind first, and we'll all kind of get to know a little bit more about each other. All right, so this is What the Heck with Landry Company. All right, first question. If someone weighs 198 pounds and they eat 2 pounds of crawfish, does that mean they're 1% crawfish?
I mean, I've eaten 5 pounds of crawfish in one sitting, so I mean, I don't see myself
He's
turning
too many
1%.
So does that mean you're partly crawfish?
No, I ain't got my claws yet.
And he can eat some crawfish.
Oh, man.
He's
That
the
would be a
secret
cool superpower, though. So what happens if you get scared half to death twice?
You think, why didn't I see that coming the first time?
You should be dead.
Happens one time. Probably gonna happen again. Why did it scare me?
Well, if you get scared half to death once, and then you're only half alive, then you get scared half to death again as in only half of the half-life that you have?
Maybe you didn't get scared as bad as you thought you did.
Because does that mean you're only a quarter alive after that?
Hey, at least you're still alive.
You just get the 2 halves.
That's it. That's it. You're a quarter of alive.
Okay, so if bacon is bacon,
I like bacon.
and cookies are cookies,
I like cookies.
why do we cook bacon and bake cookies?
Switch it around. Bake bacon and cook cookies. See how it tastes?
Well, would it be bakies and cookies instead of
Bakies?
cookies?
Either way, we'll eat it.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Kind of like, why do you park on a driveway and drive on a parkway?
The Red Sea is blue. Iceland is green. Greenland is ice.
But we'll eat the bacon and the cookies, or the bacon flavored cookies. That's fine too.
Ooh, bacon flavored cookies.
Got some bacon socks the other day. They look cool.
Bacon flavored cookies. We could call those the cooking bakies. Question number 4. Isn't Chuck E. Cheese really just a casino for kids?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
With weird puppets that follow you around.
Yeah. Puppets are really creepy.
We don't go there anymore. They got rid of the band.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
The animatronic band?
Yeah. They don't have the band anymore. What's the purpose in going?
Oh, they used to creep me out because I used to see like the
I
little
love
wires.
them. They were
peeking out.
rocking. Kind of had the same set list. They probably needed to change it up a little bit, but they were good.
How do they get away with having a casino for children?
They use tokens instead of real money.
Even better than that, some of them sell beer.
Wow. Yeah.
That's up north, though. They can't do that down here. They know better here.
Question number 5. Now, you go to the store and you pick up pet food. Like, say you get dog food for your dogs, and it's chicken flavor or liver flavor. How do we really know that pet food is the flavor that it says it is?
Ask him if he's eating bacon strips.
Definitely not. Okay, so just so I can clarify this, my grandmother had cancer. She was not very happy, and we had bacon strips. So I looked at her and I said, "Hey," and she looked over, and I just reached in the bag and pulled out a bacon strip, and it did not taste like bacon at all. Nothing whatsoever.
But it cheered her up at the time. So
Yeah, she laughed, and which was my purpose in that. I didn't feel good for the next week. But
didn't taste like bacon or chicken.
Didn't taste like bacon.
Question number 6. Are you right-eyed or left-eyed?
I forgot my prescription.
I don't know.
I don't know, can you hold one still and move the other one? I would say I'm right-eyed, because I can hold the right one still and move the left one.
That is cool. I need that superpower.
You're not gonna be like that.
Oh! Question number 7, since we have brought up superpowers a few times. I want each of you to tell me a superpower that you would love to have, but is completely useless in a crisis.
I already know mine.
Okay, go with yours.
You ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore? I mean, personally, I would love to be able to catch a sandwich in my mouth if it was in that.
Duct tape it. Make sure it stays together.
Go with yours.
Be able to eat and like as much as I want. Just not be able to get full. I mean,
Or
I do that anyways, but still.
I don't know. I think you could make every superpower useful depending on what the situation is. But I was gonna say, hearing with these radars.
Or big satellites.
Super hearing with my satellites. But I don't know. I can't think of one that would be unhelpful because that could be helpful. You could hear a kitty cat in the drain.
But I don't see how catching a sandwich
wouldn't be helpful.
I would like mine to be the power to refill anything. So if my bank account's empty, refill it.
There you go.
No, if my refrigerator's empty, refill it. If I don't like somebody very much, refill that bladder, Give them a bad day.
That'd be a pretty cool superpower.
Question number 8. What's another word for thesaurus?
Big book that I've never read.
T-Rex.
We've got another dinosaur.
A book that my professor continuously hounds me about.
Then you should know the other word for it.
Just a useless book.
Yeah, big book that I've never read.
I think that's funny if there's not another word for the word thesaurus. But the point of a thesaurus is to give you the words that mean the same thing as the other words.
That's right.
Dictionary.
Well, that's not exactly
Another
the
book
same.
that I've never read.
Question number 9. If a penguin were to walk through this door wearing a sombrero, why is he here and what does he have to say?
To bring me some chips and hot sauce.
That'll work. I'm really hungry.
If he's wearing a sombrero, he better have chips and hot sauce with him.
Alright, so what does he have to say?
All I can think is Mr. Popper's penguin with the
Yeah.
face.
Alright, if you guys were stranded on a deserted island, who is the one famous person, living or dead, that is stranded there with you? And what 3 items would you need to keep them entertained?
Guy Fieri.
I'm not the only one hungry here.
I've got mine.
Let's give each of you somebody. Alright, that's your famous person.
I don't know.
Alright, Dad, who have you got?
I would say Stoney LaRue. A fishing rod, beer, and a guitar.
Alright.
We're going to catch plenty of fish.
Can I change mine?
Alright, since you haven't named your items yet,
I'd rather Guy Fieri, but Bo Burnham.
okay.
Just because.
What 3 items do you need?
Who is that?
He's a comedian.
Can't wait to hear these 3 items.
Yeah.
At least Stoney does have fish.
He's got a piano, a microphone, and an amp. That's all you need.
So he's going to keep you entertained.
He would.
There you
Know
go.
where to plug his microphone in. You're going to desert
You
it
never
all.
know. Somebody might have been deserted there before us and put electricity there. I don't know.
There are some deserted islands. Landry?
Gordon Ramsay with a flat top, a bow, and an arrow.
Wow.
Stay fed and entertained all at once.
There you go.
I guess we could have said Nugent. We're going to eat.
Yeah, that's true too.
So that was What the Heck with Landry and Company. Alright, so we're sitting here with Landry and Company, and they're going to play another song for us. So guys, why don't you tell us about this song?
The song's called Riding Around. Actually, just wrote it this week, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
We our hopes for this coming year are to come out with, we really want to do 3 albums this year. One we're going to record in our backyard. It's going to be all cover tunes. 1 is going to be a song, an album called Unfinished Business, which we'll do a song off of it a little later. Songs that me and an old buddy of mine wrote. The other album is going to be called Forbin, and it's after the neighborhood that I grew up in. So riding around, it's kind of mimicked after that. It's about me and my cousin riding our bikes up and down the road when we were kids, and the things we saw, the things we did.
Well, this is going to be Riding Around by Landry Company.
Trailer and a group of bill. Funny looking plant in the windowsill. And I don't guess that he knew his name. It's nice to us, so it's all the same. They say we're poor, we didn't know. We rode our bikes up and down the road. We had more fun than we probably should.
Landry Company. All right, guys. Where can people find you on social media?
Go to LandryRocks.com, LandryRocks, LandryRocks.com. And on our homepage, we have links to our Facebook page, our YouTube, iTunes, Twitter.
Instagram.
I don't use Twitter that much. Yeah, we're on Instagram pretty.
140 characters.
Yeah,
like most of them.
We're on Instagram a pretty good bit, but yeah, mostly check our Facebook page. It's Landry and Company, all spelled out. We need some more likes. I didn't realize how much likes actually mean to some people, but
I just started an Instagram page. It's Mama. It's cardis.w.music, I think. Something like that. Oh, and my Facebook page. I don't know what it's called.
Cardis Wilkinson Music.
Yeah, Cardis Wilkinson.
Cardis Wilkinson Music on Facebook. And we'll provide the links in the description for the episode to all of the social media. So what about booking? Would you say?
Yeah, go to LandryRocks.com. Or you can email me at baldrocker, BALDROCKER, at MSN.com. But mostly check our website. Everything's on there, LandryRocks.com. And maybe within the next week, I can have the boys' individual links to their sites put up there.
All right, and you guys have also got some merchandise available.
We do. We have our CDs are available on our website and through iTunes. We're also on Spotify and Xbox Music, a bunch of different digital media outlets. We have T-shirts, but we're only selling those to geeks.
Yeah. So you got to go to a show to get a T-shirt. I got to come to a show. I need a T-shirt. All right. So I have one more question in this interview. This one you may have to think about a little bit. Who is Landry Company?
Us three. This is all of us.
Yeah.
Us. Family band. Very musically
driven.
Yeah, we're driven by music, God, and fishing.
And food.
And food.
Yeah, basically anywhere that'll feed us too.
All right, so this has been another great episode of the ETX ROCKS Show with Landry Company today. We always want to thank you for supporting live music. If you want to show us some support, some love, you can always send us a donation or a tip at www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. That would really help us out. We've been able to upgrade our set a little bit. We also have a lot of aspirations. You know, we'd love to do more, get a little bit more technology in here, microphones, and it also helps us be able to get out of the house and go catch a show with someone or maybe get an interview before a show with somebody. So we want to thank you for all the support that you give us. We want to thank you for the support that you give guys like Landry Company and live musicians all over the place. As we always say on the show, we want to thank you out there for supporting live music, and don't ever forget,
ETX rocks!
Yes, it does.
Howdy folks, this is Aaron Watson.
This is Bree Bagwell.
This is Jake. And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes.
Monty Cookman.
This is Doug Supernon.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwine.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy. Ho!
Hey guys, we're Blacktop Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.